You know, all I want for Christmas is the Elder Scrolls 6, and unfortunately, we're not probably gonna get that this year. Well, I mean, that's pretty much a given, I think. I don't think that Bethesda's going to announce and release one of the most highly anticipated games in the future at some point to be released by tomorrow, basically. So what we're going to do today, though, is we're going to talk a little bit about why I think that the Elder Scrolls 6 has been delayed as long as it has been. Not that it's really been delayed, more like they're just delaying the development of the game right now, and we do know that this is kind of happening right now. In fact, Todd Howard from Bethesda, he did say that they're kind of just like working on a couple little, art things for it and everything, but they're not really getting going on it right now because the technology just plainly isn't there, and that's something that they're waiting until we get a big boost in that technology before they tackle their next big Elder Scrolls project, which is most likely going to be the Elder Scrolls 6, although I think on the track we're going right now, we're probably going to see like ESO 2 before we see the next real Elder Scrolls game. That's a joke. I don't think that's going to happen, don't worry. So let's talk a little bit right now exactly why I think that we're going to have to wait a long time before the next Elder Scrolls game comes out. And I think there is an answer for that, and that lies in the newest generation of consoles. We're looking at the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Now, as much as I am a PC player, and that is where I do the primary amount of my video gaming, in fact, I don't even own an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 either, I think that they do hold the key as to when we're going to see the next big installment in the Elder Scrolls franchise. Now, I'm going to be talking about hardware limitations and everything, so if that tends to trigger you, and you think that I'm saying like, oh, the consoles suck, that's not what I'm saying, alright? But we're going to look at this kind of objectively based on what the hardware is in the consoles and everything like that. And unfortunately, right now, these are the hard facts that the way consoles have progressed in the last generation or two is that we're not seeing this huge increase in things like power, graphical fidelity, and just like what the machines can do. It's a very small leap in comparison to what we've seen in the past. You know, if we look at Elder Scrolls games in the past and how they've progressed as a video game series, it's always been a big leap and a bound ahead of the previous one. So you look at something like Daggerfall versus Morrowind, completely different games almost, and there's a lot of changes graphics-wise and in the aesthetics of the game between Morrowind and Oblivion, and again from Oblivion into Skyrim. And that seems to be something that Bethesda really wants to keep in the Elder Scrolls franchise. They want their games to always feel like they are a lot ahead of the next one. Now, we can get into the argument and the conversation about if they have as many RPG qualities as Skyrim versus Oblivion versus Morrowind, etc., but from a graphical standpoint and from what they want to do and the scale they want to do everything when they create these games, they've always wanted to strive for something new and innovative every single time. And unfortunately, when we look at these consoles right now, the PlayStation 4 and then the PlayStation 3, for a comparison, they're not really all that different. Like, it's no doubt that the PlayStation 4 can run a lot better stuff that looks a lot better and runs a bit smoother, but it's not the big leap like we've seen in the past between, say, the Xbox and the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 2 and 3. Instead, we're kind of seeing these micro upgrades through now in the console area, and we're seeing that with the consoles, especially right now with the recent release of, say, the Xbox One S and the PlayStation 4 Pro or Slim versions. And we're going to be seeing that become more prevalent as we go through the years here, where instead of releasing an entirely new console that's a huge upgrade, we're gonna get like slightly upgraded consoles every couple years instead. And while that does kind of keep everything fresh, and it keeps consoles fresher as well and more up-to-date with current hardware, it does mean that a company like Bethesda that wants to push the limits and the bounds might have to wait a little while before they see the technology get to the point where they want to be able to, like create their new Elder Scrolls game. Now, that kind of sounds cruddy, and I kind of agree. It's sad that we're going to have to wait a little bit longer, in my eyes, before we get this Elder Scrolls 6 game. However, I'm confident that Bethesda's making the right choice right now, where they're waiting, saying, hey, we want to do this, we don't want it to be half-baked, we want to go in and make sure that there's something new we can offer players with the next installment in this series. That's totally fine to me. So what do you think about that? Do you think that that could be a possibility? Do you disagree with me? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you disagree, just like explain everything, and that's totally cool. Don't call me a loser. I don't like being called a loser. I was talking about getting triggered before. That's what triggers me. I'm mostly kidding. Okay, I am PattyJack. I will see you guys next time. Have a wonderful day.